Good morning. I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 1. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Kathy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Cody Jordan with the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name, sir?
Job Celestine.
Mr. Celestine, this is case number 19 CF 8497. You've been charged by information with second-degree murder with a firearm and possession of a concealed weapon or firearm by a convicted delinquent. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. State, did you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor, will be the defendant should be held at no bond. Looking at the four corners of the affidavit, I know this was a direct file, came up from juvenile. This defendant is seen with the victim, decedent, traveling in and around in a park, speaking to a number of witnesses in the case. This defendant, had a black handgun throughout the day in his fanny pack. He showed it to multiple witnesses throughout the day. One of the witnesses said that she last saw the defendant and the victim walking away while she was walking with another person back to her home. She did not hear gunshots at that time, but she did receive a phone call from this defendant saying, "Yeah, I popped him." Other witnesses in the park heard a gunshot, walked over and saw the decedent on the floor with a gunshot wound to his head. The victim, one of the witnesses that came up afterwards did I think Instagram video or Instagram live video of the situation, and that's how the family of the decedent found out what was going on and then came to the scene. Officers were able to locate a number of surveillance video showing this defendant with the decedent throughout that evening. Based on the information and the statement that this defendant made to a witness, we'd ask that he be held at no bond. We'd also ask for no contact with the victim's family, no contact with any named witnesses or potential witnesses in the case, no weapons, no firearms.
Thank you. Mr. Jordan?
Your Honor, we would defer to the court.
Okay. The state has met their burden based upon the information contained in the affidavit for the custody order to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great at this time. Mr. Job, you are going to be held at no bond on count 1. Your bond on count 2 is $150. You're not to have any contact with Mr. Walker's family or any of the named witnesses in this case, and you're also not to possess any weapons or any firearms. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Good morning. Your name?
Elderly Dormo.
Mr. Dormal, this is 19 CF 8564. You were arrested for destruction of evidence and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is no probable cause for count 1, sir, so you will be released on your own recognizance as to that amount. Your bond on count 2 is $100.
Yeah. So I'll be released, you said?
You have a $100 bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be released, you said? That's what you said?
No, I didn't. I said you have a $100 bond. So once you pay the bond, you'll be released. I'll appoint the public defender as well.
Your Honor, Richard Phillips refused.
Okay. We will reset Mr. He was mental health yesterday, so we'll reset him again. Sir, good morning. Your name?
David Kenneth Scully.
Mr. Skelly, is that right? Sir?
I'm sorry.
Are you Mr. Skelly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Skelly, you're here in 19 MM 292. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Is there an offer for Mr. Skelly?
I don't have the paperwork from yesterday, Your Honor, so I'm going to ask the court to make it,
Okay.
if there's going to be one.
Okay.
Do you want to go home today?
We just asked for also a no, I know it's a trespass, so a no return.
To UCF, okay. All right, Mr. Skelly, did you want to resolve your case this morning and plead to the court? All right, sign the plea form, please. Thank you. Mr. Skelly, this is the second time that you've gotten arrested while you've been at UCF.
I'm supposed to be on campus. I'm supposed to go to school there. I have records on my email that tell me that I enrolled on the internet for cybersecurity about 3 months ago. I'm just explaining my situation. I'm supposed to be attending classes, so I showed them my email, and they
Mr.
totally
Skelly, They
turned.
don't have record of you, so you're not allowed to go there. And every time you go, you're going to get arrested.
Okay, if I call and maybe work something out with the trespass to get it lifted, I'm really supposed to be attending
Yeah,
school.
I don't know how to do that, sir, but all I can tell you is that for sure, they do not have record of you, and they know who you are. So every time you show up there, you're gonna get arrested.
Okay.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Skelly, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up on the form?
I'm not sure how the law works or anything. I've been through it a few times. I'm still kind of unsure about certain things. Am I going to be able to go home today?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm sorry. I showed them my email, right?
I
I just
understand,
want to
sir.
get this out on the board. I showed them my email that says I'm supposed to be attending, I'm enrolled and to come in to follow the cybersecurity
Okay.
18-week course.
But you're not enrolled, so you can't go. All right? Are there any
Okay.
questions you want to ask your lawyer before we move forward? All right, Mr. Skelly, are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to,
He's been here for some time.
how long? Since June 12th. 3 days? 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days' time served. You will
Okay.
have to pay court costs. Those need to be paid by June 14th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing. I'm not gonna take any action on 19MM 251 today, Mr. Skelly, but if you go back to UCF again, I'm gonna revoke your bond and you're gonna be staying here.
Okay.
Okay.
So everything's done with?
You still have your out on bond case to resolve, but your bond is still intact. I didn't revoke it.
No issues.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Hakeem Jones.
Mr. Jones, you're here in 19 CF 8481. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of robbery. I will appoint the public defender. Well, you didn't fill out the affidavit, sir. Were you going to hire a lawyer, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Qualified for a public defender?
All right. Do you have a job?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any source of income?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. Based upon your testimony, I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Gonna set your bond at $5,000, sir. Are we good?
There's two cases, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, in that case, 19 CF 8366, you were arrested for aggravated battery, great bodily harm with a weapon pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. The public defender is appointed in both cases based upon your testimony. Your bond in that matter is gonna be $10,000. I'm not reducing the bond on the other one, it's gonna be $10,000 as well.
I would note, Your Honor, he has a minimal criminal history of a single marijuana possession.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. In 19 CF 8481, he is not to have any contact with John Gamboa. You're not to possess any weapons or any firearms or return to the scene. And in 19 CF 8366, sir, you are not to have any contact with Malik Spakes Clark. And you're not to return to the area of Rio Grande and 43rd Street. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How about Ms. Collins?
Mr.
All right, we'll reset her again. Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Baines?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 19 CF 8567. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender. You also have 19 MM 5002. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause for that offense as well. I'm going to set your bond at $500 on 19 CF 8567 and $100 on 19 MM 5002. You're not to return to SeaWorld, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Brantley?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is 18 CF 13811. You failed to appear for case management conference on November 14th of 2018. Your bond is currently set at none. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you if they weren't previously appointed. And you'll have to see the judge downtown to have that modified, sir.
Dakevius Barton refused.
All right, we'll reset Mr. Burton. Good morning, your name?
Louis Chavert.
Mr. Chavert, this is 17 CF 15119. You failed to appear for case management conference on May 21st of this year. Your bond is currently set at none in that matter. You also have 19 MM 4985, resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause for that offense. Your bond is $500. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in both cases, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir?
Good morning, Mr. Compton.
Hey, ma'am.
This is 19 CF 8559. You were arrested for grand theft, more than 300, less than $5,000. There is probable cause, sir, for that offense. You have 19 CF 8555, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance. There is probable cause for that offense, and you're not to return to 2342 Rockwood Drive, and no contact with Angel Lopez. You also have, and your bond is $3,500 in that case. You also have 19 CF 8556. You were arrested for burglary of an unoccupied conveyance. There is probable cause for that offense. And you are not to return to 2318 Rockwood Drive, and you're not to have any contact with Ebony Williams. I will also appoint the public defender's office to represent you in these cases as well, sir. Thank you.
Sir? It seems the newest charge is a setting problem.
Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Megan Costello.
Ms. Costello, this is 18 CF 15151. You failed to appear for arraignment on February 7th of this year. Your bond is currently set at none. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now, do you have any additional questions? Here's some paperwork for you. Thanks, sir.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Anthony Dunn.
Mr. Dunn, this is 19 CF 8560. You were arrested for trespass in an occupied structure, battery on a law enforcement officer, and resisting officer without violence. There's probable cause for all of the offenses. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in both of your cases. Bond on count 1 is $100. Bond on count 2 is $2,500. Bond on count 3 is $100. You're not to return to the Walmart at 10500 West Colonial Drive. And then in 19 CF 8570, you were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree. There is probable cause for that offense. Your bond is $150 in that case. And again, sir, you can't return to the Walmart at 10500 West Colonial Drive. And then 19 MM 3707, I'm revoking, what's the hearing for? Hold on.
That's a Wawa victim in that case.
Is it just that they haven't filed? Is that why this is a hearing? Oh,
We filed on it,
information
yes,
was
Your
I
Honor.
believe an
filed.
information has been filed that is a public defender
It's a
case.
6/19 arraignment date, Your Honor.
Can we resolve that one today?
I don't have, I can see if the information is scanned in to know if there's restitution or,
Let's see.
I have a cost of investigation of $48.34 to the Orlando Police Department. Trying to see if I can see the cost of, it was a cup of coffee, so I just wanna
Oh, okay.
see what the restitution is.
$5.40.
No, the total would be without sales tax. It'd be $5.07. I have the receipt. It was scanned in.
How much is it?
$5.07.
Okay. Mr. Dunn, did you want to resolve your out on bond case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Possible.
all right. Were you prepared to make an offer, or is he going to plead to the court?
It'll have to be the court, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Dunn, sign the plea form, please.
I gave the cost investigation, correct, Your Honor? Okay.
Is OPD? Yes.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Yep. He has 21 days on that case? Okay. Thank you, Jenny. Did you sign the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Answering some questions.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Dunn, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up on the form?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty as to both counts, sentence you to 21 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 21 days time served. You have to pay cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $48.34. There's also restitution to the Wawa in the amount of $5.07. You can't return to that Wawa, which is at 3025 Curry Ford Road. You have to pay court costs as well. Those need to be paid by June 14th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah. This one right here. Sure. Isn't that Raphael? I think so.
Morning, sir, your name?
Dennis Hoover.
Mr. Hoover, this is 19 CF 8581. You were arrested for possession of synthetic cannabinoids and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I am going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, sir. And I'm not taking any action on 19 CF 1527.
Your Honor, what was the case number for today's present case?
19 CF 8581. Good morning, your name?
Jimenez, Alejandro Jimenez.
Mr. Jimenez, this is 19 CF 3955. You failed to appear for case management conference on May 23rd of 2019. Your bond is set at none, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you, sir.
What's she saying?
We're gonna talk about this, 'cause it was mentioned.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Your name?
Marco A. Marquez II, ma'am.
Mr. Marquez, you're here in case number 19 CF 8566. You were arrested for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause for both of the offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
Your Honor, after reviewing this, I couldn't find what specifically they were pinning on him. It was difficult to find it in the police report of him. He was mentioned as a passenger in the car,
Right.
but it didn't say which of they listed different sets amounts of baggies and paraphernalia, but I didn't see anywhere where it mentioned they were pinning that on him.
State?
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of buried in there where he's
in a
mentioned as a passenger.
Jointly occupied vehicle, though.
I understand, but
Your Honor, state's argument is going to be if you look, I don't know, 3/4 where it says the SUV was stopped at Walgreens. From there forward, it talked about all the drugs. Some were found personally on the co-defendant. Others were found in the, I guess, sun visor type area, the passenger of the driver's seat. Some were on the center console. I believe that's going to be the, because he's in the vehicle, excuse me, with the drugs. I think that's where the possession, it's a constructive possession case. It's not physically on him.
So, Mr. Stern, there is probable cause. Mr. Marquez may have a defense there, but there's certainly probable cause. Bond is $1,000 on count one, and bond is $100 on count two. And you're not to have any contact, sir, with Rafael Gonzalez Rivera.
do you have any questions?
Yeah, I have a job and stuff.
Right now.
Good morning. Are you Mr. McGinnis?
Yes.
Sir, this is 19 CF 8529. You were arrested for burglary of a structure. There is probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return to 9001 East Colonial Drive. That's the Ford dealership. And I'm going to set your bond, sir, at $1,500. Thank you, sir.
Information to the defender's officer.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Jeremy Neely, ma'am.
Mr. Neely, this is 19 CF 8562. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions and possession of alcohol on a street. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond is $1,000 on count 1, and I'll ROR you on count 2. Sir, good afternoon, or good morning. Your name?
Darius Randolph.
Mr. Randolph, you are here in case number 19 CF 7059. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offenses of burglary of a dwelling, grand theft from the curtilage, dealing in stolen property, false verification of ownership to secondhand dealer, and receiving money from a pawnbroker by false verification. Your bond on count 1 is $5,000. Your bond on count 2, 3, 4, 5 is $150.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
1 minute. You are not to return to 3513 Forestdale Drive. And you are not to have any contact with Taryn O'Grady or any of the witnesses in this case, sir. Good morning, are you Mr. Rivera?
Morning.
Sir, this is 18 CF 17381. You failed to appear for arraignment on June 5th of 2019. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir, and at this time, your bond is set at none.
So, sir, you have no bond based on the warrant, but an attorney has been appointed to your case. Right, I mean, it's gonna take time, but you're gonna get in front of a judge, and that judge can give you bond.
Good morning, your name?
Delta Rushing.
Mr. Rushing, this is 19 CF 6277. You were arrested for failing to report a name or residence change pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found. I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir. I'm gonna set your bond at $1,500. And sir, when you leave the jail, you do have reporting requirements, okay?
All right, let me explain.
Good morning, are you Mr. Russell?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, this is case number 19 CF 8539. You were arrested for possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time, sir. You need to stay in touch with the Public Defender's Office so that you get notice of your next court date.
What's that now, ma'am?
You need to make sure that you stay in contact with the Public Defender's Office so that you get notice of your next court date. Otherwise, they're going to issue a warrant for your arrest and it will have no bond.
So I'm getting released now?
You are. Good morning, are you Mr. Shope?
Yes, ma'am.
This is 17 CF 10614. You failed to appear for trial management conference on October 3rd of 2018. Your bond is set at none. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you if they weren't previously appointed.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Do I have a co-attorney? Yeah.
Good morning, your name?
Kevin Smith.
Mr. Smith, you were arrested in case number 19 CF 8167 pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offenses of fraudulent use of personal identification information, 3 counts, uttering forgery, 3 counts, and scheming to defraud, and then 3 counts of petty theft. Your affidavit seeking the appointment of the public defender states that you make $852 a week. Is that correct?
Yeah, around that, yes.
Okay, and that's your take-home pay?
Pretty much.
All right. So, sir, based upon the information that you've provided, you do not qualify for the public defender's office to represent you. You're going to need to try and hire a lawyer. If you're unable to do so when you go to your next court date, tell the judge, and they'll be able to revisit that issue with you at that time.
Will I still be able to bond out today, though?
You're gonna be given a bond, but you don't have a lawyer presently, so you need to get one before your next court date. You have to try to hire one.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me tell you your bonds. So you've got 1,500 on count one, and then 2 through 10 is $100.
That's 2,400 total, right?
I'm not sure. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Cletus O'Brien.
Mr. O'Brien, you are here for an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County. It is for vehicular homicide. Your bond is $20,000. If you're unable to post that bond, sir, Seminole County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance. Is there another one?
But am I AMA?
Pardon me?
AMA.
I have no idea what that means.
Anti-Murder Act. I'm on probation.
Okay, hold on. Don't say too much. Okay. Oh, it's behind him. Okay. And I do find probable cause for a violation of probation based upon the arrest in the new law offense out of Seminole County. The bond in that matter will be set at none. Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Christina Putt.
You're Miss Putt, is that right?
Yes, Christina Putt.
Ms. Putt, you are here in an out-of-county warrant from Broward County for grand theft in the third degree, 2 counts, uttering a forged instrument, 2 counts. Your bond is $1,000 on each count, ma'am. If you can't post the bond, Broward County will come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get to first appearance there. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Pierre Walton.
Mr. Walton, you are here from Hillsborough County for an out-of-county warrant related to a violation of probation for burglary of an unoccupied dwelling, trafficking in stolen property, and false information to a pawnbroker. Your bond is set at none, sir. And if you are unable, well, actually, Hillsborough County is gonna come pick you up and you'll see a judge when you get there.
So you don't know what it is? Because I don't have no new charges or anything like
It's
that.
it says violation of probation. Are you on probation?
That's the only information we have.
What's the violation?
I mean, I don't have the affidavit stating how you violated your probation. They don't give us that. They just give me the warrant, the active warrant, and tell me what charges it's related to.
Yeah, and, the case been closed for 2 months, and I just started probation.
Well, I mean, that's something to talk to them about. I couldn't find any
Miss,
information.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walton, you will see a judge when you get to, Hillsborough County. They'll come pick you up. They have, 72 hours or 3 business days to come get you, so it doesn't count the weekend.
All right, so
All right.
if they don't, so I get out Tuesday?
If they don't pick you up, but they mostly do.
If they don't come get you, you'll come back to see me,
Okay.
okay?
All right,
Thank you, sir. Good morning, your name?
Morning, Carlos Molina.
Okay.
speak to the two men for the motions this afternoon, or this morning?
Sure.
Mr. Molina.
See, were there any motions that you didn't have an objection to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Which
No
ones
objection
are
to the
those?
Lance Robinson. I think we only had two.
We only have two.
Oh, the other ones are
Yeah.
just regular
33-day
thirty-three
motion,
add-on?
yeah.
Okay.
So do you want me, I can do the private attorney 33-day motions if you want. During this
No
down.
objection on Mr. Robinson?
Yes, Your Honor.
So no objection on Robinson,
Correct.
and an objection on
Molina, so.
Molina.
Yes. I believe it's gonna be, Molina's I think, first up, but
Yes.
it's the criminal history of the defendant. Ms. Robin can read it when we get there.
Mr. Jordan, just let me know whenever you're ready.
I'm ready to proceed right now, yeah.
Oh, on Mr. Molina?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Your Honor. In the motion for release on his own recognizance, or in the alternative to at least reduce his bond, before Your Honors, Carlos Alberto Molina. The accused is currently confined on bail. His bail is set at $500 on his on count one and $100 in count two. Currently, he cannot afford the amount to secure his release, but he will promise to return to court if released on his own recognizance. He also wishes to return to his employment. He is a licensed barber, and he does wish to return to his employment as a barber. He also has a home in which he can go back to. He will go back to his parents' home. I also would note that while he's been in custody here, he has voluntarily participated in programs designed to reduce recidivism among criminals. He's also gone through therapy, anger management, and other such programs.
How long has he been here? All right, so a month, okay.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'd like to put the defendant on the stand to testify to such things.
Would you swear, please, Erling?
Raise your hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, could you please state your name for the record and spell it?
Carlos Alberto Molina, C-R-A-L-O-S, Alberto, A-L-B-E-R-T-O, Molina, M-O-L-N-A.
It's all right, sir. Sir, how long have you lived in Florida?
Since '89,
And how long have you lived in Orlando, Central Florida?
about a year and a half.
Okay. Do you have family in the area?
No, I have family in Deltona.
Okay. And where do you currently work? If you were released today, where would you go back to work?
There's a barbershop right around the corner from my parents' house. It's called Exclusive, It's on Providence.
Okay. And how long have you worked there?
I've worked there. It opened 2 years ago.
Okay. Can you afford bond right now?
No, I cannot.
Can your parents afford to bond you out?
No.
Sir, since you've been in custody, have you participated in any programs?
Yes.
Programs.
It's called Restore, and it's Mr. Cupkey. He's one of our teachers, and then we have a pastor comes in every Friday and does anger management. It's an awesome class. He makes us do speeches. We have Toastmasters, so we're able to learn how to speak publicly. It's good. It's helped me.
And
He
it's
makes
up-
it a point to participate. If not, he'll kick you out of the dorm, at point blank.
Okay. Have you been doing well in that program?
Yes.
Now, for the record, have you ever failed to appear for court for any of your court hearings?
I've never, no. I've always showed up.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, State.
I have no questions for the defendant. Just can I have Ms. Robin read his criminal history?
He has no failure to appears. 3 felonies, 14 misdemeanors, no incarcerations. He does have convictions for battery-related offenses, possession of drug paraphernalia, duelist, DUI, possession of cannabis, possession of cocaine, trespass, defrauding an innkeeper. Let's see, no out-of-state. Well, he does have out-of-state conviction for purchasing a controlled substance.
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Purchasing controlled substance. That's an out-of-state conviction.
Your Honor, it looks like this defendant's last conviction was May 6th. He got arrested. He pled, I resolved the case, an arraignment case, in-jail arraignment case for a theft. The sentence was 45 days with credit for 34 at the time. He gets arrested on this case, 5/13, so within a few days of being released on that case, he's now arrested again for this case. As far as, he has 2018 convictions, I have a camping, a disorderly conduct. I have a possession of a controlled substance. That was a conviction of March of 2019. So it looks like in the last year, he's been convicted of a number of cases within, let's say, a year and a half time span. So state would object to the bond being reduced at all at this time.
Okay. Mr. Jordan, anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Can I say something?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Are we all set?
Yes.
Mr. Molina, at this time, I am going to grant your motion. I'm going to order that you are not to have any contact with the alleged victim in the case. That's Mr. Rogers. You are not to return to the downtown Orlando area, the North Orange Avenue Central Boulevard area.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
not to possess any weapons or any firearms, and you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal substances, and I'm gonna have you tested through pretrial release,
Okay.
okay? Make sure you stay in contact with your lawyer so you get, notice of your court date. Otherwise, if you miss court, they will issue a warrant for your arrest with no bond, okay?
So does he have a bond with drug testing through PTR or?
No, he's ROR, but
Right, drug testing.
drug
through
testing.
PTR, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Mr. Robinson, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is 19MM 370. And say you had no objection to this motion?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Robinson, I'm gonna grant your motion. You can't return to the Wawa
Understood.
where this incident allegedly occurred, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Are you all set on the 33-day motions? Ms. Kennedy Swanson?
Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
Just let me know whenever you're ready.
Okay, stage ready.
Okay. Nineteen CF 6168, Angel Santiago. I have 2 add-ons first.
Okay, because I'm like, I don't see it. It's on the add-on. 1 second. No, I have it. It's just, that should be granted. The state has not made a charging decision.
All right, that'll be granted. 19 CF 6865, Jean Lopez Montalvo.
It should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 6909, Thaddeus Terrell.
Should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 6738, Gabriel Barcenas.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 5387, Isaac Aviles.
It should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That'll be granted. 19 CF 6881, Calandra Orgi.
That should be denied. The state filed an information and a request to transfer from felony to misdemeanor.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 6149, Sturvin Datus.
It should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 6892, Diane Telez.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day.
That will be granted. 19 CF 6877, Morgan Reese.
That should be granted. A no information notice was filed.
That will be granted. 19 MM 3961, Ty Williams.
That should be granted. The state has not made a charging decision.
That will be granted. 19 CF 6936, Arthur Cozy.
That should be denied. The state filed an information
That'll be denied.
On what day?
yesterday, 6/13.
19 CF 6976, Anthony Brown.
That should be denied. The state filed an information
That'll
on
be
6/13.
denied. 19 CF 5854, Travis Marshall.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 6/13.
That'll be denied. 19 CF 6867, Brendan Fraley.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 6/13.
That'll be denied. All right. Good afternoon. I'm Judge Amy Carter. This is Courtroom 1, Session 2. Could I have the attorneys place their appearances on the record, please?
Kathy Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of State Attorney.
Whitney Bone on behalf of Mr. Andrioli.
Cody Jordan with the Public Defender's Office.
Thank you. Our first case is 19 CF 8583. Sir, tell me your name, please.
Giuseppe Andruli.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Bone.
Your Honor, I'm here with Mr. Andrioli this morning, just to ask the court, I'm sure the court's already going to set a bond, but to set a low bond, based on his financial resources, I would just ask that the court set bond as to count 2 at $100, but as to count 1 at $1,000.
Okay. I do find probable cause. Mr. Andruli, I'm going to order at this time that you are not to have any contact with Yolanda De Souza. Is 14813 your residence as well?
I guess it's 14814,
Oh, okay.
but he's going to be residing with his mother.
Okay, I'm just going to order that you're to maintain a separate residence from Ms. De Souza, and you're not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you're on bond. Count 1, sir, I'm going to set at $500, and count 2, I'll set at $100.
Thank you, Judge.
There's no weapons as well, Your Honor?
Correct. She already said that.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Andruli, did you read the no contact order before you signed it? Is that yes? You have to say yes.
Yes,
out
ma'am.
loud.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Do you have any questions about anything contained in the order? Do you have any questions about anything that's in the order?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay.
He's
Thank
just
you, sir.
nervous.
I know. All right, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor, as a
Yes.
friend of the court, could I request a one-time return? Is that, I think I discussed it with him prior.
Ms. Bone, does he need to go back to the house?
I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and request that as well, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, in case he needs it, I will order that he has a one-time return with
Okay.
the police. Ms. Bone will explain, you have to call the police before you go, otherwise it's a violation of the order, okay? Thank you, Ms. Bone, it's good to see you. Good morning, your name, sir?
Matt Clark.
Mr. Clark, this is 19 CF 8569. You were arrested for burglary with assault or battery, aggravated battery, resisting officer without violence, resisting with, for four counts of resisting officer without violence. I find probable cause in counts 1, 2, 3, and 3.
You said probable cause us to counts 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, I don't see where there's a description of how many deputies were present
That's fine,
or
Your
their
Honor.
names.
No
Okay.
addition to RRRs to counts 4, 5, and 6.
Okay, I'm gonna release you ROR on counts 4 through 6, sir. I'm gonna set your bond at $5,000 on count 1, $150 on count 2, $100 on count 3. Sir, you can't return to 200 North Hastings Street, and you cannot have any contact with Christina Hamilton. You're also not to possess any weapons or any firearms while you're out on bond. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you, sir. Good morning, sir, your name?
Travell Jefferson.
Mr. Jefferson, this is 19 CF 8580. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. There's probable cause. Were you going to hire a lawyer, sir, or do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I was just gonna hire one.
You're going to hire one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to place you on pretrial release, sir.
All right.
Okay. Pardon me? Mr. Jefferson?
Jefferson.
Travell? Oh, what's your name, sir?
Travell Jefferson.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're not going to be on pretrial release because you've already paid your bond. All right.
So I
Thanks.
can go?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So how does that, no?
There's like a no action then on that?
Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Ana Luisa Leite.
Ma'am, you're here in case number 19 CF 8579. You were arrested for possession of cannabis, greater than 20 grams. There is no probable cause for your arrest. At this time, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, ma'am. Ready to go?
Here's some information. Still. Was the public defender appointed to this case, Your Honor?
That's correct.
Okay. Take your time.
Yes. Good afternoon, your name?
Kyle Smith.
Tell me again?
Kyle Smith?
Oh, okay. This is 19 CF 8540. Sir, you were arrested pursuant to a warrant where probable cause was previously found for the offense of grand theft, third degree. Your bond is $2,500. You're not to return to the scene, and you are not to have any contact with Brittany Robello. So you can't return to the Circle K at 400 Franklin Street, and you can't have any contact with Brittany Robello. Thank you, sir.
No, phone. It's over phone. The officer says it's just your time to return, okay?
Good morning, your name?
Latasha Stewart.
Ms. Stewart, you're here in 19 CF 8573. You were arrested for possession of cocaine. You also have 19 MO 1153, which is an open container. I do find probable cause for both offenses. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond in 19 CF 8573 is 1,000. I'm gonna ROR you in 19 MO 1153. And in 19 CF 5451, I'm gonna take no action on that case today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, your name?
Kingsley Francois.
Sir, this is 19 MM 594. You were arrested for possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. There's probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. You're also here in 18 MM 1199. You failed to appear for pretrial conference. Your bond in that matter is $500. Mr. Francois, did you want to resolve your petty theft case today?
Yeah.
May I have a moment to speak with my client?
Sure.
Can I have the case number, Your Honor?
It's 18 MM 1199. See, he would not be a candidate for pretrial diversion for either of the cases, right? You don't get to have a pending case and then,
I believe he was a PCD rejection. I believe it's previously been referred. I don't have what the restitution amount is scanned in our system. It may be with the physical file, but it's not.
okay. Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to resolve your case today, sir. Because the state doesn't have the amount of the restitution. And it was a notice to appear. So, sir, your bond on, can you do pretrial on both? Okay, Mr. Francois, I'm gonna place you on pretrial release at this time. And then we need to give him a court date, because it's a pretrial conference. So we're gonna give you your new court date for your petty theft case.
All right,
All right, don't miss court, because next time they're probably gonna do a no bond warrant.
all right.
Pretrial conference will be July 8th at 8:30 a.m., courtroom 4A.
All right, I got it.
Okay, you're gonna be on pretrial release.
And was the public defender appointed in both cases?
Yes.
Okay, so, you're on pretrial release, what that mean?
And can y'all mail it to me?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, your name?
Warren Owens.
Mr. Owens. Oh, okay. Thought I was missing stuff for Mr. Owens. Mr. Owens. You were arrested in 19 CT 639 for driving while license suspended. You were also arrested in 19 MM 297 for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. For both cases, sir. Your bond in 19 CT 639 is $500. Your bond in 19 MM 297 will be $100 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. And I'm not gonna take any action on 19 CF 7182.
Your Honor, I do note that it looks like the weekend initial appearance judge, Judge Young, temporarily appointed the public defender
On the CF case?
on, yes.
All
Could
right,
we
well, I'll
request
appoint
a-
the public defender
Thank you.
in that matter as well.
So, we also got appointed to this one, just so you got an attorney on it. I don't know what happened on the weekend, where they temporarily appointed someone. But, you got an attorney on that one as well. She's not gonna take any action on that, you're gonna be able to bond out, okay? Yeah. And he does not have a community county probation hold, does he?
No. It should have been PTR.
Okay,
That's just
because I didn't see any convictions either, so I was concerned.
Did Mr. Jacques bond out?
What's the name, Your Honor?
Jeff Jacques, JACQUES?
Inmate number?
1901797. Bonded? Okay. Good morning, your name?
Sherelle Henry.
Ms. Henry. You're here in 19 MM 5004. You were arrested for trespass on property after warning. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Was there an offer for Ms. Henry?
Adjudication, 3 days, no return.
Ms. Henry, did you want to accept that offer from the state?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sign the plea form, please.
Okay, you'll get out today. How many days does she have credit time, sir? 2? Yeah, you'll get out tonight.
Where that sign?
Ms. Henry, did you read the plea form before you signed it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights on the form that you're giving up? Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you taken any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would affect your ability to understand what's happening in court today?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail. You have credit for 2 days' time served. You'll also have to pay court costs. Those are due by June 14th of 2020, and you have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And then on your out on bond cases, I'm gonna leave the bonds intact. I'm not gonna revoke the bonds at this
Thank
time. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Denise Mitchell.
Ms. Mitchell, you're here in 19 MM 5013. You were arrested for possession of marijuana less than 20 grams. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Is there an offer for Ms. Mitchell?
There is not, but no objection to ROR from Ms.
Okay, Ms. Mitchell, I will, oh,
What is the hold from Broward County?
Possession of cocaine, that's not a no bond status.
Okay.
is that a probation case?
No.
Are you on probation?
Is it a warrant?
It's just out of county hold. Maybe sure.
It's a what?
She's out on bond in another county, is that what it is?
Broward County, yeah, they have a warrant out for possession of cocaine.
So it is a
It's no
warrant.
bond, it's not a BOP.
Miss Mitchell, did you want to resolve this case today? Oh, it's a VOP warrant? Got it, okay. Ms. Mitchell, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance at this time. Sounds like you're gonna be headed to, Broward County, is that right? Yes, Broward County. So make sure you do try to stay in contact with your attorney here so that they can know when you're released and you can get notice of your next court date, ma'am.
Can I get her case number, Your Honor?
Okay.
Do you understand, Ms. Mitchell? You're looking at me like you don't understand what I'm saying to you.
I didn't really.
Can you hear?
You're going to be released on your Orange County case, but Broward County is after you right now, so you're gonna be transported to Broward County.
19
Yeah.
MM 5013.
Oh, no.
But if they don't come pick you up within 72 hours, not including weekends, meaning Tuesday,
Oh, no way. Really?
there's nothing we can do about it. Broward is the one thing.
But they, when I left there and went to Connecticut, they threw me in jail for 2 weeks for that. So it should be done with.
We have no information on Broward.
I don't have any control over Broward County, ma'am. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Oh.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
How about Miss Mockler? Pardon me? Oh, okay. We'll reset Miss Mockler. Good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Janis?
Yes.
Mr. Janis, you are here for an out-of-county warrant from Monroe County for indecent exposure and petty theft. Your bond is $25,000. If you aren't able to post that, sir, Monroe County is going to come pick you up, and you'll see a judge when you get there. Okay? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry, Jenny. Thank you. And anything else? All right, well, then we'll be in recess.